Morning everyone, it is a beautiful Saturday. I got up pretty early this morning, was watching the Super Rugby final, which was great. Aside from that, I also got some Netrunner practice in, because the final was an hour later than I thought it was. Damn New Zealand and its time zones. So I've been playing a little bit of the deck that I'm hoping to bring to Nationals, and getting there slowly but surely I think. Still some tweaks to be made. But I also played the deck list of the week. It's gone up, I think, earlier than usual. I'm not sure. Maybe it goes up on Saturdays all the time, in which case that's much easier for me. And looking forward to playing it this week on the Bad Publicity channel. It's quite a cool deck. Null with typical ice destruction, some of the typical Anarch tools, but also throwing in things like Wanton Destruction, which catches people out. Quite a few of the games I played earlier today left HQ undefended. Obviously, as the deck description says, when you see Null across from you or online, you're not exactly sure what to expect. I mean, even myself, I played against it the other day and wasn't sure what its game plan was going to be. But yeah, happy with how it's going so far. Looking forward to playing it. Hopefully my recorded games can go as well. I'm still forgetting about Null's ability though, so need to fine tune that or just keep it in mind when I'm running. Could be quite a busy Netrunner weekend for me. I think tomorrow's schedule is looking okay in terms of what I have to do. I think I have a good bit of free time, so can finally sit down, hopefully record a marathon session, hopefully get some good games in and get ahead of myself, be ready to go for the week. Obviously with Nationals next weekend, I want to be able to practice over the week to come. Got some other stuff to do as well, and want to have stuff recorded for either next weekend or a couple of days after the fact as well, because after Nationals, after a 200 person tournament, my brain could be a little fried. I may not want to play Netrunner for a little while, so hopefully I can get ahead of myself there and have videos just consistently going up so that no one knows that I'm in the depths of despair after playing in Nationals. Really looking forward to it now, but have no idea what to expect, and still wondering what kind of meta calls do you make. And that's the part of Netrunner that I've said that I'm bad at in the past. Nothing has changed. So that is going to be the challenge over the week to come, I think. Maybe there'll be side tournaments as well. Must keep an eye out for that and see what kind of fun decks I can bring. Well, we're trying to do a bit of a Netrunner marathon here, but not going to plan so far, and that's before I'm tired. Some of my plays so far today haven't been all that great. I finally got a Bad Publicity game that could go up, but it's still not the finest example of either the deck or my play or my opponent's play. I don't know. So that's the joys of trying to upload daily. I don't know how Kiv does it. Like, how many games does he play in a day? That he has a good selection of, you'd have to say, good quality games as well. That is the issue, really, isn't it? Is finding that balance of quality and quantity. So I'll try and get a few more games in. Gonna switch from Null, I think. Need a little bit of a breather. Go for Wayland instead, and hopefully have some fun with that. See if Ghost Branch can be an MVP once again. Still trying to get some games in. I would like to play my Nationals decks, but there's so few games happening in the competitive lobby, and there's so much debate over what decks you should play in the casual lobby or what standard you should be. And then there's people saying that maybe we should split it into even more categories of like experimental decks and deck lists of the week and competitive decks and things like that. But there isn't the population in Netrunner, there isn't the playing population to be able to split it up any more than it is already. As it is, it's quite light and competitive. I would like to play some games, but it might not happen. And someone gave out to me the last time when I went into casual and said, tournament prep. And they're like, why aren't you playing competitive? Like, there's 3 games. There's no one else here. What am I supposed to do? So I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Because I've seen good players hanging out in casual sometimes. Like Code Marvelous is there sometimes. Snake Eyes. They're just sometimes I recognise. Not to put down anyone else who hangs around in the casual lobby from time to time. So mixed bag for tournament prep. Not entirely sure on the runner side. Is it fast enough? It's the Valencia Rebirth, and I mean, when it gets going it's amazing, but getting to that point is causing me issues at the moment, especially if it's up against a semi-quick deck. On Corp side, Palana didn't go so great for me today. Didn't play too many games, but I do believe in Palana, so I'm going to stick with it. Maybe try and get some games in against just the Anarch style that's going around at the moment, particularly the Ice Destruction Wizard kind of thing. And see if I can sort that out. I've put in 2 Swordsmen because there's a bit more Eater and Faust about. I think that's a better choice. And yeah, runner side is causing me bit of grief. Bit of grief. Who knows, maybe I'll just rip it up and start again. Trying to find some sort of answer. Sorry, it's super bright at the moment, but enjoying the good weather while it's here. Dan Darginio put up a picture today, earlier on Facebook, just showing off a wealth of trophies, and it's amazing how consistent he's been. I don't know how he does it. I must ask the Cork lads as well. I mean, they're usually sitting top tables. Sean Lucy is one of those consistent players in Ireland. Tends to come home with quite a few titles, as mentioned. You know, he won regionals last year, did it this year, possibly did it the year before as well. So there's something in the mindset that just makes you a consistent player. Because I mean, we've all had those games where you get an unlucky draw, or you just feel can't do something here, or you know, misread the meta, but somehow manages to play through all the variants and all the factors and comes away with it. The other remarkable thing about Dan Darginio's win this year, at least at the North American Championships, is, you know, most people would say read the meta, build your decks around it, that kind of thing. He builds two decks that are pretty much counterintuitive to what's popular at the moment. So on runner side, he was playing very much Tag Me in a time when tag punishment has never been more popular, maybe, with like controlling the message, some Wayland decks going around like Gagarin and Sync, things like that. And yet he's like, no, bring on the tags, I'm going to DLR you, you're not going to have an answer. And yeah, and then Industrial Dynamics as well, despite it being the most hated deck and the reason that people are playing Wizard. And again, we'll just throw out the assets, all that kind of thing, and grind people into submission. So it's kind of remarkable to see. Unfortunately, not too many matches gone up online, I don't think, from the weekend, so I can't really see how people were playing against him. But I mean, are people just not practicing against it? It's hard to psych yourself up to want to play against like DLR Max or Industrial Dynamics, but maybe that's what separates the top players. Maybe he knew that people weren't really practicing, or maybe he just is that much of a believer in himself that he goes, regardless of how much practice people will have done, I'll be able to overcome it, play better than them, and ultimately win. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm still having my crises with deck choices for the weekend, and not getting any closer to an answer, I don't think, but hopefully next few days will straighten me out, help me find something. As Code Marvelous has been saying the last few days, at the moment it's harder to find a runner deck that I'm happy with, so hopefully there'll be something that goes up on Netrunner DB, or I'll be struck by a burst of inspiration, or can get Valencia to work, or something like that. Obviously we'll keep you posted. Hopefully that changes by the weekend. The other day I was pretty pleased with myself, managed to get ahead in recording. As I kind of talked about, I think, during this video, I wasn't overly impressed with my null play, and in fact I was watching back a game that I had rendered and everything tonight, and looked at it and was just like, nope, I can't upload this onto bad publicity, because, you know, forgot about null's ability sometimes. I could have easily parasited some next dice and just pitched a card to get through and trash some troublesome stuff. So instead I'm going to have to record some late night Netrunner. Not ideal, and puts me back a little bit in terms of the schedule that I had all mapped out, which is kind of frustrating. Elsewhere, I'm no closer to an answer on the runner side. If I get the ideal draw, Valencia is perfect, and I feel in complete control flying it no matter what the matchup is, but more often than not, it's a little bit slow. So remember when I said that I was struggling with Valencia and Wizard and runner decks and things like that? May have found the answer to my dilemma, my problems. I've been messing around with the min-max deck that's been going around a little bit. Recorded a video which went up on, today is Tuesday, so went up on Wednesday. It may be the only video pre-nationals, just because of time constraints, trying to do the bad publicity thing, get practice in, and, you know, trying to do the bad publicity videos, also trying to get, you know, just general practice in, not making sure my corp side doesn't falter. I am definitely comfortable with my Planet deck, been playing it for quite some time now, and know the ins and outs of it, but, you know, you don't want to go, sure, I know this, and then, like, you go into an exam and you're like, well, suddenly I've forgotten this subject that I was a specialist in. So yeah, don't want to let the corp side down, because I would come away disappointed if that was the side to falter. But trying to get practice in with Max as well. That's why I kind of did it as the video, because I thought, you know, it's practice plus it's videos, so maybe I'll just take that approach. And nationals on Friday, have to prep just the real stuff for that, as in boarding passes, make sure I have deck lists printed out, ready to go, have some food with me because, you know, as I've talked about in previous videos, it's important to have food, beverages with you, maybe even paracetamol, headache tablets to get you through the day. And that is one thing that I chatted with Alan Noonan, one of the core players, tonight about. He referenced that video. I was like, oh yeah, I did talk about that kind of thing. I should really take my own advice, make sure I'm packed and ready to go. Flight is quite late on Friday, but you know, I want to be organized, want to be ready, and want to be in the best shape, condition that I can be, as prepared that I can be as well. So yeah, looking forward to it. Feeling a bit more confident in the max deck, I think. Maybe that's just, you know, the newness of it all. Maybe I haven't had enough games to see that, hey, this kind of thing sucks. I really hate when I run into this and I'm seeing it all the time. But I don't know. It seems good. It seems legitimate. It has been played and played to success quite a lot recently. Now, by better players than myself, but hey, maybe I can make a showing with it. Maybe I can catch some people out. And maybe if I end up on the lower tables, it can push me up to, you know, participation prize level. We can only hope. One thing I haven't said so far, and hopefully it's kind of obvious or kind of clear, if you do see me at UK Nationals, you know, say hello. I look like this. You know what to expect. Hopefully I'm not completely off form or, I don't know, in the depths of despair. And it would be nice to meet people who, you know, watch the videos, things like that. Of course, I'm hoping to avoid people in the tournament that watch videos, because otherwise, you know, the element of surprise is gone. It's what I'm built on. So at the moment I'm kind of this blend of excitement and nervousness. Obviously would like to do okay, but I think having 99% settled on decks, I'm feeling a bit better about things. Hopefully the week's practice doesn't knock the wind out of my sails, and hopefully Max, Polana, you know, keep that gloss of, ooh, anything could happen, at least until the event itself, and then Sunday could be a sadder affair. But hopefully there'll be enough like side events, things like that, to keep me distracted. There's some very cool prizes actually. I've been tweeting about them as the Satellite Grid Twitter account, but I'll put up pictures, you know. I would like to get my hands on one or two of them. I don't know how you get them. I think it's about this is the winner tickets and super winner tickets. I don't know, but I'm curious about them. I don't know what the story is with, like, how serious do you bring decks? How many decks do I bring? That kind of thing. It could come down to how organized am I on Friday. Could be seeing a lot of like Siphon Max on the Sunday as well. How fun would that be? That guy that brings the ultra tryhard decks on the Sunday as well. Alright guys, that is it for me this week. The next time you see me, I will be at UK Nationals. Well, packing for UK Nationals and then travelling to UK Nationals. But then at UK Nationals. Unless of course you happen to be there as well and we run into one another, in which case you'll see me there. But I hope you enjoyed. Looking forward to this weekend. It should be a good one. Going to pack Max and Polana, and I'm also going to bring decks for possibly the side tournaments as well. So I'm thinking like Gingerbread Kate and the Orvor Snitch Andy on the corp side. I don't know. I'm stuck for ideas of like fun decks or wacky decks that you can bring that might be able to claim a couple of those side prizes as well. They are beautiful, I have to say. So hopefully I can get my hands on some of them. And we'll see how the whole UK Nationals things go. And of course I will be keeping you updated. I will try to tweet. 9 hours of Swiss could take it out of me, but hey, I'll try. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and catch you next week.